Hello and welcome to Friday. Now, today I watched a movie, which is something that I seldom do. Well, I try to do it more often than not, but I ended up seeing a film that I feel is essential to pop culture, and that would be Pulp Fiction. Now, Pulp Fiction is a movie that came out 30 years ago? How old is this film? Um, and I've seen clips, or like not, yeah, it's 30 years old, almost 31. Um, I've seen clips and screenshots and gifs and what have you of this film and quotes and everything, and I finally watched it today. It's hard to separate something when it's so cemented in pop culture, right? You know, you have your Star Wars, you have, oh god, I'm trying to think of other, um 2001: A Space Odyssey. There are tons and tons of little things that are just part of pop culture that get referenced hundreds and thousands of times. And if you're not even aware of it, you won't notice it. Uh, and just Pulp Fiction is just one of those movies that has cemented itself as a pop culture staple, where the first part of the film is just you see so much of that throughout, just being online. It's hard to imagine a world without it, because I guess other things would fill that gap, but having a film that's such an iconic piece of media and finally experiencing it for the first time feels very unique and satisfying in a way. You begin to pick out things of, oh, this is where that's from, or I've heard this line quoted hundreds and thousands of times and I don't know where it's from until just now. And it's really neat to see. Obviously, I'm missing a bunch of staples and of the cinema and I guess TV shows as well. Like Game of Thrones was huge, and I could not tell you a single thing about that, but I know it gets referenced constantly, and there are tons of references everywhere to different types of media. But then it's just a thing of, I haven't seen this movie or film, so I will never know until I ended up watching it. I remember watching the music video. I think it was Queen's Radio Gaga, and there was a reference to the 1927 film Metropolis, which is a German film, and I was just confused because I had seen it very recently when I was watching that music video. I was like, no way. I hate that. There was a mix of love and hate that I could instantly recognize that this is what that's from. Take for example Psycho, another film that I had seen rather that has cemented its way in pop culture with the iconic scream and like the knife thing, and it's really interesting to see that compared to, well, to see that film, because it's obviously a staple of horror and thriller and pop culture itself, but being able to witness the film in its entirety and realize this is why it's significant, this is why it's important, and just understand that, it's really neat. And I'm glad to have, just begin checking off films that I've needed to see this, and I've made sure to watch it and understand why it's important. And it's just super, super cool. We'll have to discuss more about this in the future, but, Pulp Fiction is a great film. Holds up pretty well. There are some things that could be better, but, this was excellent. And I could see why it's such a staple of pop culture, and, it's just really good. Anyway, that's what I'm going to call it here for today, so Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.